I'm going to start on this corner here. This is a contact point coming out of this deep water before you hit the flat.
Yeah.
There's a big rock finger that comes off of here. You got a current pouring in back there. These fish will gather in here, usually really early in the season here. Based on what we've seen in the past, and now we got to go through the process of elimination here kind of quick. Usually those fish are somewhere from 4 to 8 feet.
Sure.
And that's what they'll be in, based on the structure in this lake, the water clarity we're dealing with, and the temperature being 47. It's a little colder than I thought it was going to be.
My opening bait is one of my favorite lures of all time for smallmouth. It's the X-Wrap. Suspending jerkbaits in cold water are always dynamite, so I've chosen a confidence bait to start with. Al's got a shad wrap on, which could be another great bait, but for me to start, this is going to be my go-to, and we'll just adjust as we figure stuff out along the way here.
Okay, Jer, I'm looking here. I've got 2 minutes to 10.
2 to 10.
I don't know how long we're going to fish. We got to read what the bite is like. Yeah, you know, how good do they treat us today? But let's say we're starting at 10 o'clock. And we'll kind of keep tabs of what we do through the day, fish-wise. Got him.
Hooked up.
Feels like a oh, he come off, Jer. It felt like a smallmouth. That felt like a smallie. I felt the weight, really felt some weight on that. Bait was just sitting there, she come up, boom, just like the smallies do.
Yeah.
Got him?
Yeah. Ooh, and that feels brown.
Does it feel brownish?
It does, yeah.
Is
Ooh,
it a brownie?
Oh, it's a dark one. Look at that.
Brownie?
Oh, he is black. Hello. Well, that didn't take long.
Took 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12
well,
minutes.
And half of it was searching. We just pulled out onto more of a main lake saddle that cuts across the lake. He just dumped one. Oh, come here, Bubba. On a shad. And I just got this one on an X-Wrap, but the whole deal was we thought the fish were going to be up on that flat, and it's cold this morning. It's 39 degrees right now, and it has been cold. And so far we pulled out on this deeper saddle main lake spot, and we've got 2 bites in a couple of minutes. So maybe the fish aren't where we thought they were going to be. So we'll play around out here, and maybe it's some deeper cuts close to flats, where it's main lake structures where they just came out of their wintering holes. The shallow water right now might be a little unstable to hold big numbers of fish. So,
of your early season search lures, we have 3 favorites, and it's difficult to beat the X-Wrap. It's one of the all-time greatest smallmouth baits ever made for cold water. And I'm giving a little different profile, throwing the shad wrap. And another one, I'll come through with these fish when we're looking like this, is a grub, swimming a grub. This is kind of interesting with these fish still way, way out in the lake, not even near these spawning flats. This is a pretty big size structure. I'm going to poke around on these rocks here. I punched that number in, I GPSed it, I locked that number in where he had those last 2 bites, and I missed that other fish.
when the water's really cold, the ticket to getting bites on smallmouth can be a long, long pause. If the water's, say, in the 50s, I'm usually not fishing with a bait caster. I'm fishing with a spinning rod and braided line with the same bait, and I'm just pop, pop, pop. I'm making the bait just fly all around, really erratic. But when the water's in the 40s like that, this bait caster with the mono, it slows the action of the bait down. It doesn't throw from side to side as much. And I can also, I just let it sit. I just let the bait sit. A lot of times 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. It's just sitting there, and you go to pick up the line again, and it's just heavy. They sit there and they look at it, and then they just come up and kiss the bait. They don't react to the bait the same when the water gets into the 50s, but when it's cold, a lot of times you can't fish this bait slow enough. The longer it sits like that, the more brown bass you catch. Ha ha! Ooh, and that's a tank, Al. That's a tank. Love it, love it. This is one of my favorite things in the world to do, is crack brown bass on jerkbaits. They are so fun, so fun. Oh, he's got a spunky little attitude for being in the 40s. We're freezing our butts off, and he's having a heyday. He's jumping and playing around and just having fun. Feels good once the ice is gone, huh, Bubba? Come here, mister. You know, hold that. Swung at that. Huh? Not bad. on the X-Wrap, and notice the color. There's nothing subtle about it. This is the hothead. My favorite color for smallmouth and muskies. The reason I think this color is so effective is it opens the strike window of the fish. Now, if the fish are real neutral or negative and you're in clear water, a real subtle lifelike bait can be the ticket. But if you're in dirtier water and the fish are real aggressive and you want the fish to be able to see this lure, it creates almost a halo in the water, and the visual cues that it provides to the fish is incredible. It just simply opens up the zone of awareness for the fish and where the bait is. So far, it seems to be working.